Action.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is actually a better view than we had before. To put you in the picture where we are, we're looking south at the moment, and the big mountain over there, that's Mount Stenhouse, which is the tallest mountain on the southern part of Lamma Island. And then the village over there, that's One, and you can see that the hillside has been eaten into, to the left, well, behind the village and to the left of the village. And those are very old quarries. When I say very old, probably 19th century, early 20th century quarries. And you can see that the trees and vegetation are trying to cover it up. But where it's really steep rock slope, then the trees can't get a foothold. But they're gradually disappearing. Those scars are gradually disappearing into the vegetation. So you can see we walk from the village around there, and then there's the beach. There's the beach where we took the pictures of the Ipomea Pescaprai and the Casuarina, what have you. And then we disappeared up that valley to Loso Sing briefly, and then came up the hill to here. So I just wanted to show you this view to put you in the picture in terms of the topography and the map. But you can see in the lower valleys, right, the lower slopes, a lot of the forest is coming back. The forest is growing back naturally. I mean, some of it is Taiwan Songsi, some of it is Acacia confusa planted artificially, which kind of speeds up the process. But most of this will be tree cover slowly coming back. So the hills are turned already from grassy habitat to scrub habitat, and now they're shifting gradually from scrub to woodland. There's a sort of middling condition, which I don't know what to call. But and then looking over here, fantastic views, wonderful, so clear. Looking over to Repulse Bay and up there Chow, and then a little bit closer, we've got the old quarry that I mentioned to you before. Then that quarry was still operating up into the 90s, so that was all completely bare, massive scar on the landscape. And apart from those very, very steep, almost vertical cliffs, right, which are solid rock, which the vegetation has a lot of difficulty in colonizing, because there's simply no chance, no soil. I mean, they get roasted in the water, it doesn't hold any water, nothing. So, but you can see on the lower slopes of the quarry and on the flat area below the quarry, where there used to be a lot of, storage of rubble and storage of rock and sand and gravel and various installations to process the rock. All of that's gone now. But I can see even from here, I can't go there at the moment, but I can see eucalyptus and casuarina. It's almost all non-natives, but it's changing the microclimate to a microclimate where the native trees can come in. Right? So I'm not that dogmatic about never having non-natives. I think they can play their part because the natives don't grow in a desert, and we've created a desert. Just a case in point over here, looking up at that ridge line there, you can see that there's a lot of Acacia confusa and looks like a few casuarina sticking up. And you can see that they're very thin. The wind has been blowing through those trees. That sort of saddle is really gets hit by the wind. And but when I used to walk over here in the 1980s, the late 80s, that was absolutely bare ground. And now you can't see any bare ground. It's amazing. So even though the individual trees are very poor quality and scruffy, together, they've completely changed the whole the microclimate there. And so let's go and have a closer look up there, because when we get to there, then we look down to Yongshiwan and the power station. But I want to take a closer look up there and see what's happening, because 30 years ago, absolutely completely bare ground.